Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the third edition of IoT Solutions World Congress. My name is Terry McElrath, and I'm the program director of the Congress. For the past year, I've been working with our 35-member program committee to build a program of over 120 individual sessions and over 250 speakers. This year's program is focused on the business outcomes that companies are experiencing today from the use of IoT technologies and solutions. Over the next 3 days, you will hear from industry leaders and customers themselves talk about their lessons learned and their IoT journeys from a variety of industries. I want to thank the program committee, our sponsors, and everyone who submitted the call for papers for delivering what we believe is the best program to date. I hope you find the program and all of what IoT Solutions World Congress has to offer this year valuable. And if you see me in the hallways, please take some time to give me your feedback of what you think of the event this year and how we can make 2018 even better. I would like to now introduce Mr. Jose Luis Bonet, President of the Governing Board of Fira de Barcelona.
Senyor director de l'Industrial Internet Consortium, senyores i senyors, en nom del Consell d'Administració de Fira Barcelona, em complau saludar-los en aquest acte inaugural de la tercera edició del IoT Solutions World Congress, esdeveniment pioner en l'aplicació de l'Internet a la indústria. Thank you so much for your support and your presence in this opening session. We would like to thank especially the Industrial and Internet Consortium for their essential contribution to this event. Enguany, IoT Solutions World Congress s'inscriu en el context de la Barcelona Industrial Week, que aplega 8 grans esdeveniments industrials, especialment del sector de la química aplicada, la fabricació additiva, i aquest esdeveniment que ara inaugurem, Internet de les Coses, pensant en la importància i el futur del que hem convingut en anomenar Indústria 4.0. IoT Solutions World Congress no puede empezar mejor si nos atenemos a las previsiones al superar los niveles de empresas participantes, ponentes y expertos del año pasado. IoT vol ser la millor plataforma possible per a que les empreses i els experts abordin junts estratègies i projectes de desenvolupament de l'Internet industrial, que indubtablement és el que el futur ens demana en el marc de l'eclosió de la indústria 4.0. La divisió en 6 grans àrees: fabricació, subministraments i energia, transports connectat, salut, construcció i infraestructures, indústria oberta, expressa la voluntat de donar respostes reals a l'entorn industrial, empresarial i social. Aquesta voluntat s'adiu perfectament amb el paper de Fira Barcelona, que té una llarga tradició promovent la innovació en els diferents camps de la indústria i de l'activitat econòmica. Moltes gràcies, muchas gracias. Thank you very much.
I'd like you now to welcome Dr. Richard Soley, the Executive Director of the Industrial Internet Consortium.
Bon dia, buenos dias, good morning, ohayo gozaimasu, plenty of other phrases. Thank you for joining us for the third edition of the Internet of Things Solutions World Congress. And this year, our focus is on solutions. You have heard already from Terry the importance of learning about how to use this new technology, which is not so new anymore, and that's what we're focusing on this year. We've asked all of our speakers to focus on real case studies, real examples, real ways to use the technology and solve real problems, and therefore solutions. This is our third edition. It has been growing by more than 50% every year. And looking around the room, considering the transport strike this morning, we've grown again another 50%. And that's because we've reached a turning point for Internet of Things. I really mean it's an extremely important turning point for IoT. And again, that turning point is about solutions. It's about the realization that this is not a technology trend, this is about solutions in industry. Whether that's healthcare, manufacturing and production, transportation, energy distribution, transmission, and so forth, agriculture. We are seeing a huge trend of disruption in many industries caused by and supported by the Internet of Things. I mean, my goodness, I don't know how many of you noticed out on the floor today, but there's a boat in the testbed area. That's worth pointing out. Thank you for the laugh over there, yes. It's worth pointing out the importance of the testbed area. Again, our focus is on solutions. We know that the future is going to feature disruption. We know that we're going to see changes in many industries, some of the ones that I just mentioned. But what are the changes? And the answer is, we don't know. So how do we find out what those changes are? We build test beds and we test our ideas. This was the genesis of the Industrial Internet Consortium, the IIC, the understanding that we can't wait for the future to disrupt our industries. Rather, we have to disrupt the industries ourselves and invent the future. Today, the Industrial Internet Consortium has 28 test beds. Some of those test beds, I believe 10 of them, are showing live on the floor in the testbed area. Again, I strongly recommend that you visit the testbed area and learn about what we are doing. Come to the website and look at all of those test beds. There's information about all 28, most of the 28 test beds, and there will be information on all of the test beds soon. And we're starting to take the next step. We published today at the Industrial Internet Consortium our first official testbed results paper, which has a clever name of testbed results paper. And in that, you'll see that we've started to understand some of the best practices for hiring and for training, and most importantly, for standards. Those standards are not only at the area of the transport of information, that's primarily a solved problem, and there will be a session tomorrow in which we're talking about a connectivity framework, that is connecting your Internet of Things systems, but also semantic integration, a hugely difficult problem, and one for which we were starting to develop standards at the Object Management Group and elsewhere. We have to solve problems of interoperability and portability if we're going to get anywhere, because essentially the Internet of Things is about integration, especially integration of systems that were never planned to be integrated, that were never planned to be connected. Lastly, and most importantly, in order for the Internet of Things to be successful in the real world, to solve real problems, we have to solve problems of security and privacy. And if you have not yet seen the Industrial Internet Consortium's security framework, IISF, I strongly recommend coming to the IIC website to take a look at the security framework, which is focused on exactly those issues of security and privacy. I would like to thank Fira de Barcelona, which has been an enormous, wonderful partner for these last, with this third edition for these last 2 years, which has been put together a tremendously successful event. And especially I'd like to thank Terry McElrath, who's looking up now, for doing an enormously wonderful job of pulling together a program 60% bigger than last year, in which we will be talking entirely about solutions. Again, how to use the Internet of Things in healthcare, in manufacturing, in production, in transportation, in energy production, and in many, many other areas. You will learn an enormous amount over the next 3 days, and I hope that you'll stay with us not only to visit the exhibition, but also to see some of the Congress speakers talk about solving problems with Internet of Things technology. Thank you for joining us. Thank you to FIRA for hosting a tremendous event. And thank you to all of you who found your way in this morning despite what is threatening to be a very difficult day in political situation. And with that, I'd like to turn over to our first keynote speaker. Joe Paradiso, a good friend, is professor in media arts and sciences at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, the MIT Media Lab. And he is going to tell us about some of the problems that are actually already been solved with the Internet of Things. Joe.